If true, this could change everything for the New York Yankees, as the New York Yankees have been linked to a relief pitcher that would prevent them from needing to sign Tim Hill, which could fix their salary situation if they're able to acquire Andrew Nardi, as they can then go out and spend more money on an infielder like a Ha-Seong Kim, and we're going to break this all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here. And guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe. Of our 78% of viewers not subscribed right now, if you want daily New York Yankees updates, reports on rumors, injury updates, game reactions, a bunch of fun stuff coming, especially when this season begins, TikToks, post-game live streams, so much fun stuff is coming. You guys really want to jump on board now so you could do it before it was cool. But let's jump into the video. You guys are not here for this. Look, the New York Yankees are in a weird position right now because they have one more available slot for a relief pitcher on their major league team, and also they need to fill a void at the infield. However, here's the catch. Hal Steinbrenner's done spending money, or at least he wants to be done spending money. Real money, that is. And Empire Sports Media's Ryan Garcia, the man who I would say is the most synonymous with New York Yankees, Empire Sports Media breakdowns. Very, very smart Yankee fan, ear to the ground. He proposed an idea that if this could come true, this would change everything for the New York Yankees offseason and make them a much better team going into the season. Shout out to Garcia for this. I got to give him his props. I literally saw him do this, and just to break down what's happening, essentially, he said that if the Yankees signed Tim Hill around $7 million, which would be around his market value, they must pay a $6.3 million tax to finalize the transaction. And Garcia said he could see why that wouldn't appeal to them. With a mock trade that he created, they'll acquire a cost-controlled reliever in lefty Andrew Nardi, who could save them money on a reliever and allow them to further invest in an infield that desperately needs help. As we all know, the New York Yankees infield has a severe hole in it right now, as they still need a third baseman or a shortstop. Now, taking a look at how Garcia broke why Andrew Nardi acquiring him would be a good move, it's because over the last two seasons, Nardi is top 5 among left-handed relievers in strikeout percentage, strikes to walk percentage, and skill-issued ERA, which is essentially the ERA that's in your control, not the stuff that's outside of your control. As he's done an excellent job of punching batters out with high walk rates, and home runs are an issue. Nardi doesn't allow that much damage contact, which is why his xERA, which factors in quality of contact allowed, has always viewed him favorably. Tim Hill excels at limiting damage contact, but does miss bats, and Fernando Cruz excels at generating whiffs, but also allows loud contact, and Andrew Nardi excels at both. Now, just to make it very clear in case you don't know, Andrew Nardi is a left-handed pitcher. It's just important for me to mention that because the New York Yankees, what do they need? A left-handed pitcher. All of their relief pitchers right now in the bullpen do throw with their right hand. The Yankees had one reliever in Tim Hill last year, and Tim Hill was flat-out dominant. I loved the way that Tim Hill pitches, and I do want the Yankees to bring back Tim Hill. Though there is some logic in making a trade on a cost-controlled reliever, because then the Yankees won't have to spend as much money and can avoid having to force Hal to spend more than he wants to, and then sign a guy in a Ha-Seong Kim or someone a little bit higher up on the price value than the Brendan Rodgers and Paul DeYoungs of the world. Now, Garcia broke down a lot. So just to continue going through what he mentioned, he said the Yankees would be adding someone with an elite ability to generate weak contact while striking out tons of batters, and since Andrew Nardi is pre-arbitration, they likely won't receive a tax bill for him that exceeds the $1 million mark. It serves as a win-win for the Yankees and the Miami Marlins. Now, on top of that, a player who he thinks fits Miami perfectly is catcher/first baseman Rafael Flores, as while Augustin Ramirez has already been sent over there by the Yankees for Jazz Chisholm. Having more catching depth is never a bad thing, plus the Yankees don't need this as they already have a catcher/first baseman in Ben Rice who could back up Austin Wells when Austin Wells is having days off. He posted a 1.49 WRC across 122 games last season between high A and double A, posting a near 94 mile per hour average EV while hitting baseballs north of 114 miles per hour. The second player who will go to the Marlins in this mock trade is a pitcher they acquired from the Red Sox this winter, as Elmer Rodriguez Cruz is a young, projectable right hand with a firm fastball. He sat around 95 miles per hour this season while reaching 99 at some points. and his excellent slider is a pitch that should excite any prospect evaluator. Cruz posted a 2.91 ERA across 89.2 minor league innings, striking out 102 batters with a 3.56 FIP. Now, all that's good stuff, obviously, and to just look at how Garcia breaks this down, if someone eats around $10 million of what Stroman is owned in 2025, and someone eating around $10 million feels right, that's around half of it, and that does make some sense. The Yankees are going to have to eat some of that Stroman deal in any trade, but it won't be everything. They could move lighter as well, and they could free up around $12 million in payroll, and they could also then still have an open relief pitching slot, so they'd still be able to sign a second lefty if they wanted to on the cheap, like a Brooks Raley, who's not going to come back till July, and this pushes them to $292 million and opens up plenty of opportunities. Signing Ha-Seong Kim to a deal that would make him around $15 million luxury tax hit would only cause the Yankees to get taxed on about $6 million of those dollars, which would bring in about a $5.4 million tax hit, bringing the total money committed to about $18.4 million, which isn't market value for Kim, but it certainly shouldn't scare them off. Look, I like the idea of doing this because if the Yankees are to deal Mark Leiter Jr. as well, who wasn't really able to get it going in the Bronx, they could sign Brooks Raley, and they could do that, and that'd be fine because they have Andrew Nardi. So they have another lefty already there. Then you're waiting on Brooks Raley, someone who his last season, when he pitched for the full year, had a great ERA under 3. Man was dealing for the Mets. You take away a guy from the Mets who obviously might re-sign with them or could sign anywhere. He's a left-handed relief pitcher. He's going to have a good amount of offers from any team that does need a lefty reliever who's contending, as Raley is 36 years old, coming off Tommy John. So teams will be weary, but he wants a multi-year deal, and he'll probably get one, is my guess, because how good he has been before his Tommy John surgery, and relievers can tend to last a little bit. So I think he will get that multi-year deal, and the Yankees could sign him to one. It would make sense. I really like this idea, personally. I'm a big fan of the New York Yankees trying to pull this off. Now, Andrew Nardi would be a nice project for the Yankees to work on. Now, look, some numbers put him up with some of the great pitchers. Edwin Diaz, Tanner Scott, for the high strikes to base on ball percentage, above 87 miles per hour. So, or less than 87 miles per hour. Sorry. I was never good at math. But look, the New York Yankees, they could get a guy on the low who could really break out with the team playing for a much better baseball team who can work with Matt Blake, and Matt Blake, as we all know, is an absolute demon. So this could work out for the Yankees well and save them a ton of money in the process. Nardi last season, yeah, the 5.07 ERA is not a good look, but the whip was not that high for a guy who had a 5.07 ERA. And being a relief pitcher is weird. You're going to have one bad game and your ERA will jump like nobody's business. Like, it's a weird position to be in. He still struck out 70 batters in 49.2 innings. That's very, very good. Andrew Nardi's a very talented pitcher. In the right system, on the New York Yankees, he very well could have a positive impact that's way more than that 0.2 WAR that he posted this season, or last season. So I think it would be a very nice move to see the New York Yankees go out there and do this. I think it makes all the sense in the world. Meanwhile, Tim Hill's numbers were better, but again, look at the whip. It was higher. So we have to be clear. Andrew Nardi and Tim Hill, despite the difference, the 1.67 difference in ERA, it's not as big of a pitching gap as it looks. Now, I like Tim Hill, and I want to see Tim Hill return, but obviously the Dodgers want him, and you never know what's going to happen there, especially with him being from California. The Yankees have to be ready at the possibility of losing Tim Hill. So, you get a guy in Nardi. It's not saying that you can't bring back Tim Hill. It's just you get another left-handed pitcher, so then you could look at a cheaper option if there's one out there, and Andrew Chafin is a cheaper option than Tim Hill. Brooks Raley is probably a cheaper option than Tim Hill because the lack of, health for the first near half of the season. So you look at that, it does make a lot of sense for the New York Yankees to try to pull off a trade like this. I would love if they could do that because then it fixes where you want to go with your second or third baseman. You can pick up a Ha-Seong Kim who's an elite fielder, 2.6 WAR. The batting average isn't great. The on-base percentage, the on-base plus slugging for a guy who is an elite fielder is really not that bad at all, especially for a guy who you're putting at second base. You can keep Jazz at third, or you could move Kim to third base. He could handle anywhere in the infield. He's a very versatile player. He's a very good athlete. The Yankees could use another athlete around the bases. It continues to build this absolutely elite infield defense that they have. So with a team that has a good amount of ground ball pitchers, you're pretty set up for very little errors if you got Kim, Volpe, Jazz, Goldie. It's like, that's one of the best defensive infields in baseball. It just is. It's one of the best infields in baseball in general. It'd be a great idea for the New York Yankees. I think this would make them a much better team than just re-signing Tim Hill, and it saves them some money in the process, or it doesn't really charge them any money in the process. This is a genius idea, so shout out to Ryan Garcia again for bringing this up. He's absolutely right here, and not to just steal what he's talking about at all, I just think it's such an awesome idea for the New York Yankees that it is something I did want to break down. But I want to know what you guys think. Do the Yankees have a chance at Ha-Seong Kim, first of all? Do you think the Yankees should make a move for Andrew Nardi? Should they say screw this and then just go for a Tim Hill, and then after that, make another move just like signing Brendan Rodgers, who maybe is not Ha-Seong Kim, but he did have a better batting average, and the OPS was better. Beware, he did play in Colorado, so that could shift very fast, and that could flip in a blink, so we just have to be very wary about that. But I think this would make sense for the New York Yankees. I like this idea. I want to see the Yankees do this over signing a Tim Hill and a Brendan Rodgers personally, because I do think Rodgers is the front runner right now out of that tier of infielders. Kim's a tier above. Makes the Yankees better. Go out there, do that, Yankees. Pull that off. Guys, let me know what you think down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. If you have any video suggestions, leave them in the comments. I'll make sure to make the video. Have a great day, and go Yankees.